Hey guys, welcome back. We're happy to have you. And let's talk about spirituality,
Okay.
all the turbulence that's out there about it, the pros and cons, negative things, positive things. And then we're also hearing different stories too. So, upon researching it and looking into it, which I didn't even realize,
No.
they were categorized into 4 different categories.
Yeah, 4 different spiritual paths. And listen, before we even dive into this, go ahead and like and subscribe if you have not done so already. To the new viewers, we appreciate you. We see the love. To the continued viewers out there, look at you subscribing and sharing it, passing it along. We definitely appreciate that. Okay.
So 4 different kinds of spirituality.
Okay.
Let's go right into it and then we'll discuss it a little bit. All right. So the first one is ascetical spirituality. All right. This is referring to the practice of self-denial for spiritual purpose. So anytime, any moment you have decided to stop something, whether it was dieting, for example, you decided you're going to cut out sweets. That is ascetical. All right. So you are cutting something out in order to gain something back, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that is referring to ascetical. And I feel like a lot of us do it and don't even associate it with spirituality, but it is.
Exactly.
All right.
Especially too in the Bible, it's a very form like fasting. You
Yes.
know, it's been for ages where you withdraw something. You know, you hold something back, like you were saying, and you pray, and and then God gives you something in return for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Right.
So that's the first category, ascetical. A lot of us jump into that more so than, prayer and the other types of spirituality. Like, we'll cut out something for a month. We'll cut out something for a week, a couple of days, however long you can go.
Okay. So the next one we have here is mystical spirituality or mysticism. And that is a belief, a system that involves a person feeling a union with spirituality, with God, and that connection, right? And having access to that spiritual knowledge. Because we're talking about our crown chakra here, which is basically the chakra in between God and us, that layer where we're communicating, where he's sitting and we're receiving. So it's basically, and what I love about this state too, because it is an altered state of consciousness or ecstasy that is given, and you could name that as religious, but you could also name it as spirituality, meaning too. Both religion and spirituality, they have it in their form. But it's basically, it's also that feeling of, awe, like when a miracle happens and like it's just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think this was going to work out. It's a miracle. That's what that feeling is, of just that being of like that we are greater than, but also so tiny and minute,
Yes. And during these altered states of consciousness, guys, this is also when you're receiving downloads, right? About information that is kind of like out of this world. It's not an ordinary thought. And that's how you know too that, you're in connection, you're in contact, because you're talking about things that are out of this world. What business do you have discussing things like that? So that's normally the connection between the higher beings coming down through. And yes, very mystical. The next one we're going to talk about is active practical spirituality. Okay. And this is actively integrating our spiritual values in our daily lives. All right. In our daily routines. And it also recognizes, and it's not limited to our personal experiences or religious practice, but extends to how we relate to others and interact with the outside world. Okay. It's not just us experiencing this planet. So there's lots of other spiritual beings experiencing this planet with us.
Yes,
and that also embodies our spiritual experience as well. Okay, so it's one of those things that's inevitable.
Yeah, honestly,
active practical spirituality, it's inevitable. It's something that's always actively going on around you, whether you recognize it as spirituality or not.
Yeah, because that's just one of the laws of just like energy in general, right? Because we're not seeing it doesn't mean it's not acting, behind the scenes.
Right.
So that's like we're
spiritual beings at the end of the day. Yeah. So whether you see yourself as a spiritual thing or not, you're still interacting spiritually with the spiritual environment.
Okay, clock that T. And the last spiritual path is called the prophetic critical type, and that form of spirituality it goes beyond practical form of service of our fellow humans, right? It's more so in the direction of an explicit social critique and a commitment to social justice as a spiritual task. So when you're looking at these people, they're heavily focused on social justice then. That's like their passion, their heart. So you're experiencing spirituality, God, through the art of, having compassion, being forthright in your purpose, your passion to do well to others, to seek social justice, and no matter what form that it comes in as, those are like the people where because some people, they stand up for others, right? But there are some people that go out of their way to stand up for people because they don't want to see lack of social, moral, or people who are struggling. Those are the people who are practicing spirituality in that form because they are seeking justice, through their heart, but also doing something that the crowd, people who are sitting by, are not. Right. They're putting themselves out on that, edge.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of them, you'll find them volunteering during like natural disasters and things like that. Yeah. A lot of those people, or unless they're speaking for a group of people that are in the minority groups, or, yes. They have a stronger pulling or compassion towards giving or helping others, really just putting themselves in service for others. And then pursuing with tunnel vision, whatever they think that their purpose is.
Yeah.
So they will pursue that, and that's their calling. That's what they are. That's what they do. All right. Those are most of their prophetic.
They follow with all their heart. Yeah.
Jesus or his 12 disciples. Really, a lot of the people in the books who had like this strong conviction that they're meant to do something. Yeah. Is what's related to the prophetic.
Exactly.
Style.
And it's funny because a lot of you guys are tuning into that, not even realizing it. Those are the people that comes into the world that's like, oh, ever since I was like 2 years old, I knew I was supposed to be a singer.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been singing my heart out since then.
Yeah.
Well, we know what it is. That's like that style.
Very prophetic.
Just like ever since you were young, I knew I was going to become a makeup artist and become on the splash, TV and this and that. That's the type of spirituality you're typing.
You're tapping into. And I bet you didn't realize that that's what that was. Okay. Our very existence is spirituality, period. There is no getting away from that. Every single question you ask yourself as far as where you stand or as far as what you want to do or how you want to serve in life is spirituality. Okay? Yeah. So it was interesting to see the different categories.
I love the fact that even though you break them down, it honestly is a whole pie because we're all going in and out of it, this big hub of just beautiful spirituality like that we kind of see, like a melting pot, right? Yeah. So we're tuning in and out of others, or we have, I guess, mastered, if you prefer, this versus the other.
Oh, yeah.
But we're all living in this bubble.
Oh, yeah. All in this bubble. And it's just interesting because then you can kind of see, because even then people will still navigate towards one style of spirituality over the other. There's just, everybody has their own natural taste as far as what they would prefer, okay? Yeah. And maybe that contributed to the different stigmas that are out there regarding spirituality, the different thoughts and beliefs about it, because it is a broad topic.
It is.
It is so broad. It taps into a lot of things, even magic, witchcraft, and all those kinds of things, right, guys? But it's good to know these things because being understanding and being open-minded to learn about these things helps you either way.
Okay, it really does. And so I know y'all learned something new today because I know I did, right? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and put that in the comments if you did. Now, these are the type of spirituality that we're aware of, but there might be some new ones out there.
Oh, yeah.
Research and things like that changes all the time. So drop some tea in the comments if you know, okay? Until then, okay, like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the bell for notification. And guess what? We'll see y'all next week.
Next week, y'all.
Bye.
Ciao.